The following program is a Town of Colonie television production of the William K. Sanford Town Library.
Hi, I'm Supervisor Paula Mahan, and welcome to Colonie Connect. Today, my guest is our Commissioner of Public Works, Jack Cunningham. Welcome, Jack.
Thanks, Paul. It's good to be back.
It's nice to have you back. Department of Public Works is one of our busiest areas in town, departments in town, I should say, and you certainly have, you and the staff have had your hands full over the last winter.
Yes, we did.
That was one part of it, the harsh winter, but the other part of it is all the wonderful projects that we have going on. Mm-hmm. But I know everyone is so interested to know how we made it through the winter, and one of the biggest topics we have is water main breaks. Mm-hmm. So why don't we start and keep our fingers crossed as we're speaking that we don't get any more water breaks today. But why don't we start with the issue of how the winter had an impact on our pipes, water pipes this season. And from what I've been told from Superintendent John Frazier, from January to today, we had a total of 153 water main breaks.
Yep, that's what we're up to at this point. And one of the unique things that we had this year over previous winters, since I've been here anyway, is that the intensity of the cold caused the frost line to go deeper than we normally see it. It went down about 5 feet in certain areas. And a lot of our water pipes are buried at 5 feet because we're supposed to stay below the frost line so we don't get freezing. But this year that frost line got to our water pipes, which caused a lot more freezing than we've seen in previous years, which ended up causing a lot more water breaks than we've seen. And that in a nutshell is where we see a lot of the problem.
Okay. So when the ground freezes, that puts that expands and that puts the pressure on the water pipes and
right. It creates movement underground, causes the pipe to, and in some areas the pipes are made of certain materials that are relatively brittle when they get cold, and so the movement plus the material causes the pipe to break, and then that causes the water to start flowing where it shouldn't be.
That's what we have to deal with. Aging infrastructure, cold winters, all these things have an impact. But I had asked Superintendent Frazier for some statistics regarding water breaks, because if you live in a home that's affected by a water break, it really is important to get that fixed as quickly as possible so you can go on with your day. But he told me that the average time to repair each break is about 8.85 hours.
Correct.
And they range from 2.5, if you're lucky, hours, up to 31.5 hours. Right. So those are the two extremes.
Exactly.
But the average is about a little over 8.5 hours.
Luckily, residents aren't out of water during that entire period of time, but yeah, the break itself, that's the time that it'll take to get it fixed, yeah.
And we looked at a 5-year period, which a 5-year average, 2010 to 2014. So you can, by looking at that average, they came up with 657 breaks. So when you look at 153 from January to April, you can see why that's such a significant number. And I as most municipalities face similar circumstances, I think that it's fair to say the harsh winter really was tough on everybody.
It was.
But he also told me 60% of 420 miles of our water mains are cast iron pipes. And it's my understanding as we move into the future and we replace the cast iron pipes, we're replacing them with a more durable material, a ductile iron.
Ductile iron, correct.
And
yes.
That should be perform much better.
We believe that that will be a better option for the residents and a better option for the water district, yeah.
And we have plans over the next 5 years in our long-term plan for the water district to replace a lot of those mains.
Correct.
He's saying that we need to, Superintendent Frazier's saying that we need to replace about 250 miles of cast iron main.
That would be, that's going to take a little time.
It's going to take a few years here.
What we're doing in the interim is where we see, we monitor and plot each area where we're having breaks. So if we see an area that's particularly prone to breaking, that's something that will rise up on our list of areas that we want to focus on for.
Right, and we recently finished the Sand Creek Road project, and all the water main, new water main was replaced there as well.
Completely replaced, correct, yep.
But if we have another harsh winter, we should expect a great number of water breaks again.
Regardless of the winter, we always get the water breaks. Hopefully we won't end
do.
up with 150 of them again this year, but you don't know what to expect until the winter arrives. Yeah.
Yes, and John also said, the opposite when the ground, the frost goes away, then we get the opposite of the temperature, but what happens is that also affects the pipes.
Right,
and
the aftershock.
Yes.
The aftershock.
Excuse me. So I think overall, I mean, one thing that I would like to say is I want to thank you and our superintendent, John, and the entire water department staff. These guys worked around the clock, and 7 days a week, freezing cold, digging out the pipes and fixing them, doing what they needed to do.
And it's not pleasant work when it's 10 below zero and you're working with water.
Yes.
And at nighttime, it's very, very difficult work.
Very difficult,
So they
sorry, got a little allergies here.
Okay. So they really did a great job. You couldn't ask for a better crew of people.
Yes. So, we're on top of the water break issue, and we thank our water department for everything that they did to keep our residents' water safe and get the pipes fixed and keep everything going. So
Thanks.
So that's a little bit of news on our water breaks. It was a hot topic. All the news stations were calling and really wanted to hear about our water break issue in the town of Colonie. And when you look at the size of the town of Colonie, we cover 57 square miles. We have a huge amount of infrastructure. It's pretty relative to the other municipalities.
Absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, I'm not crying over the water breaks. I'm just having little allergy issues here. Anyway, we'll go on to let's talk about highway, because we did in the 2015 budget we put in a new additional 5-year paving and drainage plan.
Correct.
To the tune of about $10 million over 5 years?
Correct. This will be our second plan of a $10 million plan. First year will be 2015, and we'll start our paving again. We have a bunch of roads. I didn't even count them this time, but we have a lot of roads that we're doing. We're focused on some of the major roads this year, too. Console Road will be one of the roads that we want to get finished up in paving, because there's some areas that really need to be corrected there. So we're focused on some of the major roads, but we'll be back in some of the neighborhoods. Supervisor and I were out inspecting roads a few weeks ago. We came across a few that are really in desperate need of repair, and we're going to focus on those.
Yeah, that's one of our many spring trips where we get to ride around and identify potholes and the conditions of the roads. And we certainly wish we could wave a magic wand and do them all at once, but we can't do that. But it is ongoing, and I'm very thankful that we were able to put in another 5-year plan, because there still are so many roads that need to be done. Are the asphalt plants open yet?
Yeah, the asphalt plants opened last week. So last week, third week in April, they've opened up. So
okay, so
right now we're using that hot asphalt to get out and get the potholes repaired. And we'll probably begin paving sometime in the first week in May.
Well, I hope we can get the potholes repaired before next winter, because we certainly have a number of those as well. But again, that harsh winter. Anything else that you'd like to talk about regarding a highway and the paving
Well, yeah, we
plan?
do have a major project going on this year to connect the with the road, which is called Winter Circle, into the roundabout in front of the new Capcom headquarters at Marcus Boulevard. And that's part of a longer-term plan to connect the Aviation Road from Macy's all the way up to Albany Shaker Road at the library. So this will be the next leg of that connection, and that process should be completed sometime in August. And at the same time, we'll be changing the name of Aviation Road to Maxwell Road as well. So Maxwell Road will eventually extend all the way from Route 9 all the way down to Sand Creek Road at Macy's.
And that will help to alleviate some of the traffic congestion around Wolf Road, because that will enable people that are looking to get in the back section, back of Wolf Road. This will run parallel to Wolf Road.
That's
so
correct.
If they don't have to go on Wolf Road for any reason, they can get right on that road. But it'll be a while before we're able to complete the whole thing.
The last leg of that will be the interconnect between Albany Shaker and Marcus Boulevard. That's probably a 5-year window on that.
Okay.
We're hoping.
But at least it's in the plan, so
moving
that's
forward.
great. And the New York State Department of Transportation is working on the Exit 4 bridge.
And that's coming along pretty well. I've been watching it every morning when I come into work, and they're moving pretty quickly, and they anticipate that will be finished before Christmas this year.
Yes, so that's going to be a big help in that area as well. And then, of course, we're hoping that the state will keep on the books the improvements to the actual Exit 4, which will be that would result in major improvements in that area. So we keep advocating for that, along with help from the county and the Airport Authority, the Chamber, and working with the state. So
Right.
that's a high priority for this area. We have several long-term plans in place regarding infrastructure, and that's where our focus is. That's where our monies are going.
Correct.
Into infrastructure.
Yep.
The infrastructure is aging. It's not something that's going to go away, and it's a long-term process to be able to repair and replace what needs to be done through the years, so that we get 5-10 years down the road, and we're not in a situation where everything is breaking at once and falling apart. Preserving our infrastructure, replacing our infrastructure is all part of public safety. You have to have safe roads, you have to have clean, safe water and drinking water, and you have to have a sewer system. That's our Pure Waters Department. That protects the health of our people. So, although it's something that we sometimes can't see where those tax dollars go, because we can't see what's underground, but it's a major part of public safety. It's a major part of quality of life, but it's also a major part of keeping the town of Colonie vibrant and attracting redevelopment of older areas and bringing new life, because you've got to have good infrastructure. So it's part of the whole package.
It's a part of the community and government that residents don't think about until it fails.
Exactly.
We prefer they weren't thinking about us at all, and that everything's working smoothly. And so that's why, as you said, we're doing all that reinvestment in this infrastructure to make sure that we don't have failures along the way, because that could be devastating.
And the monies collected by the Latham Water District go into the Water District, and that's what pays for keeping the system going for clean water. We have a very large water treatment plant down on Onderdonk Road. It goes for maintaining the infrastructure, on a daily basis, and it goes for the multi-millions of dollars it costs to replace it.
Correct.
And the monies that are collected for pure waters for that district go into that district for the sewer system. So these are priorities, and we have to maintain them. And I think that putting these long-term plans in place for water, sewer, highway, I do think that that is the right way to go. Along with our engineers, we've talked about this a lot, and we have such we have an amazing staff of people with long-term knowledge of the town of Colonie, the infrastructure of the town of Colonie. Really, a lot of intelligence when it comes to the engineering of infrastructure in the town. So we're very fortunate to have those people, and they do an outstanding job.
They certainly do. I really enjoy working with them, too. It's been a real pleasure to have that opportunity.
They've been an integral part of preparing these long-term plans for the next 5 to 10 years. So, so that's what a lot of what's going on in the town of Colonie. It points to infrastructure. So that's why we have all the plans that we've put in place. We have a number of them for the water department. We mentioned the Sand Creek Road project for highway.
Correct.
And there's also the Russell Road stormwater improvement project that we did.
Yep.
But for the water department, would you like to go over a few of the projects that we have there?
We've got the Mill Road tank project, which has been complete, and that's a good example of failing infrastructure, because we had an older water tank that people could see when they go up Route 7 that sprung a leak, and so we had to empty the water tank out and inspect it, and found out that there was a lot of areas that were weak. So we basically rebuilt and refurbished that entire tank last year. That's been completed.
Okay.
And this year we'll be doing the tank over on Osborne Road. We'll be just doing the same renovation on that one. So those are two of the major water tank projects, and we're going to continue looking at our water tanks, inspecting them, and doing these types of repairs. We also are going to be doing water main replacement, which we talked about earlier today, Vista and Park. Those two areas will be having water main replacements this year, and that's
long overdue for them. They've had a lot of struggles there, so hopefully this is going to be really an improvement.
Right. So those are the bigger projects that we have on the books for Latham Water.
Okay, and when you talk about water tanks and think about the millions of gallons of water that are in these tanks, that's why we have to be so cautious and make sure that they are inspected properly on time, and that when we find any leaks or anything like that they have to be maintained properly.
Absolutely,
so they're very important projects as well. And we also have a list of the sanitary sewer projects.
We're going to be, from an aesthetics perspective and also from an operational perspective, at the plant we're going to be doing some major paving out there. Since that plant was built, the roads that they used to go through the plant have to be repaved.
Okay.
But we're working on the Leishik Hill pump station rehabilitation, which is a $5 million project, and that's being spread out over several years because we don't have the money, we don't have the opportunity to get it all done in 1 year. It's a major project. The Leishik Hill pump station is the biggest single automated operation for the sewer department, aside from our treatment plant down on the Mohawk View. So that's going to be ongoing this year, and we hope to have that completed in 2016. We're also commencing a study this year on the pump stations on the Wolf Road area, because those although they're still working efficiently, are beginning to be maximized in their capacity, and could actually limit development in that area if we don't do something soon. So we'll be doing studies on that, and residents will probably see work going on in those plants in the next 2 years. So those are two of the major projects that we're working on over there.
Okay, so a lot going on there, and we've got got a lot of projects also that are in the planning phases.
Correct.
for both of these areas, and again, that goes back to the long-term planning. So we have several of those as well, and we have again, ongoing will be the 5-year paving plan for highway. But those are some of the major projects that are in the works, and we budget in the capital plan about $10 million per year.
Correct.
And the majority of it is going into the actual projects. We have very little equipment.
Correct.
We have been really using the equipment we have. The departments have been sharing equipment to try to save those monies to put towards actual replacements and repairs. So it's all been planned out very carefully. And
we work really hard to keep the expenses
Yes.
down and manage what we've got and use it efficiently. So,
and your departments, including you overseeing all of them, you are never bored. That's for sure. You're never bored. And we do try very hard when we get a concern, a complaint, a request. We hear about any water breaks or problems regarding infrastructure. We have over 82,000 residents. We have all the businesses in town, and we do try our very best to get back to our people as quickly as possible. And I'm sure you do too, because I know you get some on your own, and I send them to you. But we get lots of nice comments and feedback from the residents, thanking our people for getting there so promptly and being so considerate and getting the repairs done. The public sees how hard it is. Some of the weather conditions are just horrible. Some of the things they need to do are just so difficult and strenuous, and there's just a lot that has to be done. And again, it goes back to having a staff that has a lot of background knowledge on our infrastructure system and real dedication.
Real dedication to the community. They want them to do things right. They want to do things right for the taxpayers.
Yes.
And,
so we do appreciate those calls and those letters for our people, and it makes everyone feel good. So thank you to the residents as well. We had a fantastic year regarding recognitions for our Department of Public Works, our staff. When our superintendents go and accept these awards, they always reflect upon the fact that it's the whole department that helped the department achieve the award. But we received several. I mean, it's just it's unbelievable for one municipality to receive so many, but it really is such an honor to have all the hard work that's being done recognized. So that's great for a town. Maybe you could talk a little bit about these awards.
Well, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the list, but
Okay.
I know that, go ahead.
I'll talk about a few, and then I'll
Sure.
hand it over to you, okay? Well, the most recent, our superintendent of the water department, John Frazier, he's been very quiet about this, but we found out from many other people that he is received the 2015 George W. Fuller Award for the New York section of American Water Works Association.
Correct.
This
That's a
is
national award.
Yeah, it's a national award. It's one of the most prestigious awards in that area of engineering and in water departments. And I think there are only 75 so far that have received this award. So we're very, very proud of John, and we congratulate him. He's really made the town very proud.
He does a great job.
It's quite an honor.
He's very proud of the water district, and he works very hard down there.
Yes, and recently, along with at that conference, the New York Section Project of the Year Award for medium-sized projects went to our Mohawk View Water Treatment Plant under drain repair project. And the New York section of the American Water Works Association, we were the winner of the best tasting water contest. So these are, really nice honors, and it's just a reflection on all of the work that our people do. But we have some other awards here. I'll let you talk about the top three. They look pretty nice too.
Okay, well, one that you may not want to mention, but I'll mention on the air because you want to be shy about it, is that you were nominated, or you were awarded the Elected Official of the Year by the American Public Works Association, which and I was proud to be part of the nominating team for that because of your dedication to DPW and to the infrastructure in the town. It's a great reflection on your work as you came in, and it's good to have elected officials that are so supportive of the work we're doing.
Thank you.
So then we also won a Transportation Project of the Year award for the Sand Creek Road renovation, which we'd mentioned earlier, which was recognized as a very successful program. And as we talked about earlier this week, we are having a minor issue with the sidewalks over there.
Yes.
That we're on top of. We're aware that that's become a problem for the residents, and we hope to have that issue corrected over the summer with a new set of sidewalks being put in. But other than that, the project itself came out very well with new infrastructure, new roads, and all that, and we're very proud of
Well, the
that.
sidewalks that you're using, it's a whole new product.
It's a porous pavement, and it's been successful in other areas in New York State. We've never used it here before, and the failure of the concrete, we believe, has to do with something to do with either the way it was poured or the way it was mixed. So we have some experts taking a look at that to analyze it and see what we need to do next.
Okay.
Then we have the Emergency Disaster Repair Award that we also got for the Mohawk Treatment Plant, their under drain repair work that they've been doing out there, which has been pretty significant as well. So it's, as I said, it's been a good year. We got a lot of recognition for the work we've done, and we've had some major initiatives this year that we've had to address quickly, and the town departments have responded very well to those things.
Yes. So, again, thank you to all of our public works departments for everything that they've done. Not only to achieve these awards, it's always a nice feeling to receive an award. It's a real honor, but the most important thing is that they're doing their very best to serve our residents with the highest quality of services they could possibly provide, and that's at the top of the list. So,
And tasty water is just an aside from all the other work we're doing.
Yes, it definitely is, and so kudos to everybody that helped us achieve these awards.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
I appreciate that.
And, I do get every once in a while people ask me about painting fire hydrants. I know years ago the town used to paint them, and then they kind of stopped because maybe too many other things going on, or not enough funds for that, whatever.
Right.
But, we've started over the last few years painting the
Correct.
fire hydrants again. So it's one of those things that when they're painted and they look fresh, it makes people feel good.
Yeah.
And
it's something that for the first couple of years that I was here was something that we just didn't have time to focus on. We were managing staff shrinkage and trying to reestablish ourselves. Last year we initiated a project with Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple, where we took some of his inmates that are more work-oriented, that they can do work outside the facility, and they came in and did some painting for us along Albany Shaker Road, and that was actually a successful plan, and we'll probably do some more painting with them this year, and then we'll also probably be doing more painting on our own. So
well, that's great.
It's a work in progress. Wherever it's like your house. You start painting at one end, and by the time you get to the other end, you have to start all over again. So.
I know. Well, I thank Sheriff Apple for his assistance, and it's nice.
It's very helpful
time
for
to be
us.
Something productive.
It's a great project for him because it gets some of his inmates trained and working outside the facility.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a safe program.
Absolutely, yes.
It's a very safe
always
program.
Under guard.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to continue with that. That's good. And we only have a few minutes. There's so many things to talk about. I know we packed a lot in very quickly. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about?
I'll touch base a little bit on our yard waste collection.
Okay.
We're back out doing yard waste collection. We've got a slow start because we had some vehicles go down at the beginning of the season, so we got a little bit behind. We're catching up this week, and we should be back on schedule.
Okay.
Always ask residents to remember that, our guys have to pick up those bags, so try not to make them more than 40 pounds. That's
Right.
our limit. Our guys will work. If it's more than 40 pounds, they'll still try and get it into the truck if they can. But, if residents could be considerate of our employees as well, we'd really appreciate that. It helps us to move faster and keep on schedule.
Yeah,
So.
and that is, leaf collection is a huge undertaking.
It really is.
It's, we put out our bags for our individual homes, but when you think about the number of homes across the entire town, it's a major undertaking, and our people work hard at it. So
they do a lot. Yeah.
We do appreciate the residents' assistance and cooperation and understanding. If we're short staff on a day, that could cause a delay, but we do the very best we can to keep to get to the homes that pick things up. So, but well, as always, when we talk about the Department of Public Works, I think we always end with you'll have to come back because there's always so much to talk about. But spring is here. We hope for a nice spring and summer, and get over the harsh winter and forget about that for a little while, and get down to doing our spring and summer and fall jobs, and just enjoy the time.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
all right. Well, thank you very much for being here today.
Thanks for having me. I look forward to coming back.
Okay. And thank you for tuning in to Colony Connect.